All right, we are back, and I wanted to talk about the history of AAA's, I would say kind of their SummerSlam version of that promotion, which is Héroes Inmortales. It hasn't been around for long in conjunction with any other promotions, pay-per-views like that, but they signify this as a very, very important thing because, well, number one, it's right after Triple Mania. This is pretty much the show right after Triple Mania.
Right.
But also, it gives the tribute to Antonio Peña. So, the founder of the promotion, Antonio Peña, passed away by a heart attack on October 5th, 2006. Following Peña's death, his sister, who we see on television constantly... Oh, fun fact. So look at this. So it's Antonio Peña. And look at that babyface McMahon. So, and I actually think he actually did do a press release about Peña when he passed away in 2006. I do remember that. So she, the sister, Marcela Peña, manages AAA financially. She has a background in financials, so that's why she's pretty much a person who does that. While Peña's brother-in-law, Joaquin Rodon, and his son, Darian Rodon Peña, serve as the operational managers on the day-to-day stuff.
Right.
The anniversary of his death, these individuals put on the Hommage a Antonio Peña, or the Antonio Peña Memorial Show. The name was changed 2 years after to what we know now as Héroes Inmortales, which is Immortal Heroes in Spanish. The show usually happens early to mid-October, but the 2009 show happened on September 26th, and the 2018 show happened on October 28th. But for the most part, they're right in between October 1st and October 15th.
Right.
Kind of around that area. So let's talk about the flagship match of this show. There is no other time that the Copa Antonio Peña match happens. This does not guarantee a person who wins Copa Antonio Peña anything.
Right.
It's just
a title. Or it's the trophy.
It's just a trophy, and it's basically negated right after, and then there's a new crop of people. Now, when the person, whoever wins this, there have been a few cases where that individual has gone for the AAA Mega Champion, or this is basically where they push the person, like Copa Triple Mania. But this one is for the tribute to somebody like this. Now, like I said, Pimpinela Escarlata won this trophy twice. The first and only star to ever win this more than once. And they generally pick, I think there's only been a couple of instances where the fans could choose who were in this match. But other than that, they do it based on how popular they are. And also just kind of people who they're not using for the most part.
Right.
This match is not a set-in-stone match. The original match was a gauntlet match. Then they switched it to Battle Royals. There was a Torneo Cosedayos, which I think is is basically what it was earlier. I think it's a Lucha Libre version of a Battle Royal.
Right.
Not sure how that works. Maybe we'll cover that later. There was one, it was a 4-way elimination match. And then there was one, it was a 8-man lumberjack elimination match.
Okay.
So Copa Antonio Peña is more so of the homage to Antonio Peña than it is the actual match.
Right.
I think now they're doing more Battle Royal-esque stuff, and their Battle Royals are very different because it's very similar to the multi-man Lucha Libres, where you get hit with a big move, you roll out of the ring, another person comes in, and then they do it in the elimination style where you can be pinned or submitted. The first show was obviously in 2006 when he passed away.
Yeah.
And, there we go. So the main event, they had 6 matches on this card, and it was main evented by a Domo de la Muerte cage match between La Legión Extrahija, which is Ambroso Negro, Electroshock, and El Zorro, taking on Chessman Cupetesco, who you'll know quite a bit after this, and El Infotable. I'm butchering these immensely.
I know you are. I'm just going to let you butcher them.
Okay, and so what this match was, the last person in this cage, because it was a cage match, had to be shaved bald. Chessman lost, so Chessman had to get his head shaved. The first Copa Antonio Peña match was won by Charlie Manson. That was his name.
Okay.
Very interesting name. I think now he wrestles for CMLL, actually, because he's a lot older. I think he was born in 1969. And the match was a gauntlet-style match, and it was like an hour and 1 minute long. Because it was a gauntlet match. I think there were like 12 people involved. So kind of an interesting format there.
Right.
That's a long-ass match, by the way.
Right.
The first show that was called Héroes Inmortales was the third event in 2009. In 2011, the first two shows were officially changed to Héroes Inmortales 1 and Héroes Inmortales 2. But in pretty much everybody else's mind, they were not changed. They were called the Homage at Antonio Peña for the first two. That's how settling. This match had the Héroes Inmortales 3. They actually called it Héroes Inmortales 3, even though it was the first Héroes Inmortales at that point. Had 7 matches on the card. Carbentico, I butchered that once again, won Copa Antonio Peña by winning a 12-man battle royal, and it was main evented by Dr. Wagner Jr. defending the AAA Mega Champion against El Macias, who won Copa Antonio Peña the year prior. Nice. So they actually tried to have the person who won Copa Triple Mania win the next big match, but they lost it immediately because Dr. Wagner Jr. retained the championship. Also, this was the logo for it, so, cool. So, Antonio Peña's face was always a mainstay with this because it basically was a jerk-off sesh for him.
Right.
In 2011 and in 2012, it was weird because they always numbered Héroes Inmortales as Roman numerals.
Right.
There were only 2 years where they never did that. And that was in 2011, which is the poster that you see here. And they worked closely with TNA because you see Sting in the poster there. Mm-hmm. And also, I believe at this point, we had Judas Macias on TNA. Was that 2011? No, that was like 2009.
Yeah, that was something like that.
Let's try that again. So, 2011 show had 7 matches main evented by Masks versus Hairs, 6-man tag team steel cage match between Los Psycho Cirquis, which was represented by Monster Clown, Murder Clown, and Psycho Clown. Just to really age how long these 3 have been in this promotion.
Right.
And they took on Los Perros del Mal, Demonion 666, Halloween, and Nico El Minario. And I think that was obviously won by Los Psycho Cirquis.
Right.
Because they have not taken off their masks. They were ripped to shreds, but never taken off. Electroshock won the Copa Antonio Peña. I almost said Copa Triple Peña.
Me?
So 2012's Copa Héroes Inmortales, which is the one that you see here, had 6 matches main evented by a Domo de la Muerte hair versus hair Lucha de Apuestas match with Jack Evans, La Secta Brasilia Quimpanica, I butchered that immensely, whatever. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the people in the match. Versus Los Perros del Mal, Halloween, El Hijo del Perro Agoyo, and Psychosis, and Teddy Hart was actually in this promotion at this time. And if you're wondering, El Hijo del Perro Agoyo was Perro Agoyo Jr., the one that was killed by Rey Mysterio. Right. And Halloween lost his hair due to Dark Cueva, and the winner of Copa Antonio Peña was El Tejano Jr., but this was the only year that this was stripped because Tejano Jr. won with a low blow, and they tried to keep that traditional thing going along with that.
Right.
Now, I don't have a picture for this because I could not find it, but there was one time that a championship was awarded to the winner of Copa Triple Mania. That was in 2011 with the vacant AAA Latin American champion, and that was won by oh God, what's his name? Phantasma.
Right.
Elio de Phantasma. There we go.
Yes.
Wow, my brain broke there. So, and I also don't have the other one for this one, but I feel like I should not have to explain why there was no Héroes Inmortales in 2020.
Yeah. I don't think you have to explain that.
But that was kind of like some highlights of the very brief but still very illustrious history of this promotion. But it really signifies not only a very large event along with AAA, but their emphasis on history and also their homage to the person who started the promotion, right. Antonio Peña. But also, if there's a tribute show that is very recurring, and actually CMLL does this quite a bit, except they do it with the buildings that they're in. They do it for people, like they do with, obviously, Antonio Peña here. So, Peanut Gallery, do you have anything else to add?
I think I've had all the commentary I need to add.
All right. So, when we come back, we will not only make AAA and Héroes Inmortales majestic again, but Pro Wrestling majestic again.